1, 2. Down.
Badminton, Naren, sir. Thank you, sir.
Let us sing the school song Sabse Sundar. Please be seated. Good evening. On behalf of the Lawrence School, Lovedale, we welcome our chief guest, Honorable Dr. Justice A.K. Jayasankaran Nambiar, parents of the prefects, guests, members of the staff, and students to the Investiture of the Prefects for the year 2025-2026. We gather today on this momentous occasion, a pivotal juncture marking the commencement of a new era of leadership within our esteemed institution. We stand united to witness the investiture of a newly elected student council, individuals who have been entrusted with the profound responsibility of guiding our student body with unwavering integrity, profound compassion, and an unyielding commitment to excellence. Today, we officially recognize the leadership of a head boy, head girl, vice head boy, vice head girl, and our dedicated house prefects. As we confer upon them these significant roles, we embark together on a transformative journey of empowerment and holistic growth. This is an opportunity to cultivate a vibrant spirit of service and foster an environment where academic prowess and exemplary conduct flourish in equal measure. It is now my distinct honor to invite our esteemed headmaster, Mr. D.V.S. Rao, to introduce our honorable chief guest to this distinguished gathering.
Good evening, one and all. distinguished chief guest, Honorable Dr. Justice A.K. Jayasankaran Nambiar, Deputy Headmaster, bursar, members of the staff, parents, ladies and gentlemen, and my dear students. We are gathered here in this historic large hall for a significant occasion, the Investiture Ceremony, which represents the hallmark of a prestigious public school like ours. The poet Alfred Lord Tennyson famously stated, I quote, "The old order changeth, yielding place to the new," unquote. Change is a natural part of life, helping us move forward by bringing new energy and fresh ideas to propel us into new horizons. Today, we celebrate this change as we welcome new students into roles of responsibility and leadership, while recognizing the achievements and legacies of those who have led the school before. To bestow all wisdom to the young leaders we have amongst us, Honorable Dr. Justice A.K. Jayasankaran Nambiar, an alumnus of Oxford University, UK, from where he obtained his master's degree in law, also an old student of the school from the class of 1983. He graduated in chemistry from the Sacred Heart College, Thevara, after which he joined the Government Law College, Ernakulam, from where he obtained his bachelor's in law, securing first rank in Mahatma Gandhi University, Kottayam. He was awarded the N. Govinda Menon Memorial Gold Medal for his achievement. He deserves a round of applause in this historic large hall. He must have definitely got a lot of appreciation, but then something in this large hall is definitely unique. I think you agree with me. This is a historic large hall. We all love it. He commenced practice as a lawyer in 1990 with Messrs. Menon and Pai Advocates, a leading law firm in Cochin, specializing in constitutional law and taxation, both direct and indirect. He was designated as Senior Advocate of Kerala High Court in July 2011. He was appointed as Permanent Judge of High Court of Kerala on 10th of March 2016. While a judge, His Lordship pursued a doctoral program in constitutional law at the O.P. Jindal University and was awarded a doctorate in the year 2023. His early years were spent in Lawrence School and thoroughly enjoyed the experience. It was here where he met his batchmates, with whom he grew up, sharing joys and sorrows and helping each other in the times of need. He realized then, and still believes, that true and lasting bonds are forged out of trust. Throughout his career, he firmly believed that true knowledge is power and can only be acquired with strong commitment to learning. He understood that trust is always earned, never bought. To earn the trust of colleagues and fellow workers, one must be honest and empathetic. We welcome you, sir, and Mrs. Nambiar. We also welcome all the parents of the newly elected Prefects' Council. The day I declared that I'll be getting new set of leaders, all I did is I distanced myself from everybody. Neither I influence you or you get any help from my side. You have to fend for yourself. The school has seen you for quite some time, and you have to fight your own battle. We have a very elaborate process of, election by students, behavior analysis, interviews, and also speak about what they would do if they become a student leader. I have a small snippet which the students have expressed, and all of you will be seeing that video. And just listen to them what they said. And this I sometimes play when I need to remind them this is what you have said. Of course, they have done a good job. The previous batch has done a good job, and we expect something big. I hereby show some of the snippets, and let's listen to them. Best wishes. Thank you so much.
Change does not imply that a person has to bring something new to the system or even replace the existing system to gain something out of it. To me, change is when someone does something which is noticeably improving the system.
Good leadership is even harder, but the way I see it, it is to be kind, yet assertive, empathetic, yet headstrong. These are the qualities I see in myself, and the traits that I put the best use if I become a part of the student council.
Some people say that I'm too quiet, too nice, or too calm to lead. But they say it like being composed is a weakness. Well, I like to say something. True power isn't about showing authority or making sure that you show your presence everywhere and that everyone is scared of you. I feel that true power doesn't need to announce itself. The sun doesn't scream to shine. The lion doesn't need to roar to announce that it is king. And I don't need to prove to anyone that I'm ready to.
I would like to improve the bond of students, the seniors and the juniors. From what I was as a junior, I was never treated as one. I was always treated as a friend or somebody who is guided through the tough times. And I wish to do the same with my junior.
When I used to march in first guard, I always lifted my leg the highest, not because I felt I will be given fresh cut by coach if I don't, but because I wanted to make sure he feels proud after Sagadevan sir appreciates him. And that's how it should be. Environment of love, brotherhood, a conducive environment where we can all tap into our potentials. And it's not a short-term thing, but if what I've said, we can even do 10%, even start doing 10% of what I've said. I assure you 10 years later, there'll only be one name at the top and there's Lawrence and there will be no one near us.
Secondly, what I want to change in school is the approach towards mediocrity, which in my words I call the beam balance mindset. Some students say that they are well off in games and they do not need to study. Well, life is not just about one singular thing. Say your games are doing really well. One side of the beam balance goes down and one side goes up. Say your academics are taking the toll. What do? Leave academics? No. You make the academics heavier so that you balance it out. That's what Lawrencians do. Excel in whatever they do. Be the best in everything they do and never settle with mediocrity.
This is what I want for my juniors. I want them to talk to anyone and anywhere, anytime, confidently. I want them to know that they are less than no one. I want them to have the same house spirit I had when I was screaming for my house in 9th and 10th, screaming my lungs out. I want them to think they're the best at whatever they do. I want them to change their mindset. If we can change even 10% of the mindset, I'm pretty sure that Lawrencians can do whatever they will do. We have amazing potential, and when I say it, I mean it, an amazing potential.
My first and foremost objective would be to ensure an environment, be it my house or school, where everybody feels respected and understood, their voices and perspectives heard and valued. Secondly, I would also want to work to ensure cleanliness, discipline, punctuality, and efficiency, which prove vital in the day-to-day functioning of every school activities. Thirdly, house meetings. House meetings serve as an opportunity for every student to share their thoughts and opinions.
I wish for our school to be a haven of academic excellence as well as extracurricular. Secondly, I've realized that a lot of students complain about not being recognized for the talents that they possess. But for that, there's only one solution. You have to show the talent that you have. If others don't know that you possess this talent, then how do you expect yourself to come and take part in these competitions? I want each and every single student to come to stage and take part in at least one activity that they are passionate about. And I know each and every single one of you have a talent, hidden or not, because we are Lawrencians.
The second change that I would like to get is punctuality and cleanliness. Recently, I have not been seeing anyone being punctual for meals, assemblies, or any sort of activity it might be. And cleanliness for dorms, yeah, that's a growing issue, because I've not been seeing people of senior school keeping their dorms clean, thinking that annas are there. Well, you need to think about others too. You cannot be thinking that annas are there, I'm not going to make my dorm, or I'm not going to make my bed. At the end of the day, this cleanliness and this habit will not only help you in school, but will help you throughout your life.
I don't want to be part of the student council for the title. I care about the school, the house, and the people in it. Together, we can make a difference by taking one small step at a time. And I will conclude by something my father told me. Do your best, leave the rest.
One important change I would like to make is ensuring that everyone is punctual and prepared for the day. In a boarding school where we all have busy schedules, it is essential that we have to manage your time efficiently. For example, instead of rushing for polish your shoes in the morning, it would be much more effective if everyone took time the night before. This way, we can avoid delays and start the day smoothly. I will make sure that the small but impactful habits like preparing everything the night before, whether it's a uniform, shoes, or any other materials, become a routine.
If we as students change our perspectives, anything is possible, trust me, anything. I as a leader would ensure that no one is left behind, all the voices are heard, and to always ensure to keep the flag of Lawrence School Lovedale flying high. A true leader is not someone who uses others for stepping into success. Rather, they uplift the ones who are with you, forging a pathway where everyone rises together. Because it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. Sing with me. For me, and I'm feeling good.
Very often, students tend to overlook the invaluable contribution of annas and akkas, sometimes even treating them dismissively. All the students must recognize that they are the backbone of our school system, and at any point they have to be treated with utmost gratitude and respect. As Nelson Mandela has quoted, it's impossible. It may look impossible until it's done.
Lawrencians should never settle for less. I think that many people in our school do not live up to their fullest potential. They just take the responsibility, do it in a very uncaring way and just leave it. I think Lawrence is a place where there is unlimited potential, where every person can unlock potential to the fullest. Everyone can strive to be the best. Put in any role, everyone should do the best they can. Put me in a role, put me in prefect, put me in head boy. I swear to you, I will put my blood, sweat and tears to it, not settle for less.
Them understand how important morning activities actually is. It's not like just following a routine, but it's also important for your health. Going on morning for a run or even for a walk, it does change a lot. Fourthly, the hygiene conditions of the dorms. I would try my best to make it better than what it is right now and make it a better place for the students to live.
Something that is very important to me is the relationship between the seniors and the juniors. I fully believe that there should be no disparity between us. I would also like to ensure that every student feels comfortable in approaching me or any other senior for that matter. I would want to work closely with the juniors and the house.
This vacation, when I was at home, my grandfather looked at me and he said, "You know, you've changed so much." I was taken aback, a little offended really. But then he said, "You've become so caring and so much stronger now." That is when I realized that I am who I am today because of the Lawrence School loved you. 13-year-old me wouldn't believe that I can confidently speak on a stage now, or how easy I find to start conversations. My contribution to this school is giving back to it as much as it has given me. I want to help those students who, like me, had so much to say but chose not to speak up sometimes. For the changes, I see talent and passion in each one of us. But at the same time, I know how much potential we have and I know how much more we can achieve. Too often, I see people holding back, and I don't want that. I want to change that. I want to see everyone's contributions.
Change does not come when we stand around waiting for someone else or some other time. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. A very good afternoon to one and all present here. These words of Barack Obama resonate with me greatly today as I stand here to talk about the changes that I would bring to the school as a leader. I joined the Lawrence School Lovedale only in the 11th grade. And with that came the all too familiar new joiner stigma. Which brings me to my first point. New joiners should be given equal opportunities. They should not be denied these chances simply because they joined school at a certain year. Talent and capabilities must be the basis for selection of any kind.
The Student Code of Conduct has been constructed for the welfare of the students, and its compliance is the duty of not only the prefects but of every Lawrentian. I commit to following this code and will, to the best of my ability, encourage others to do so. I will encourage everyone to contribute in any way they can to make living together a joyful experience.
It was lovely hearing all the young boys and girls talking about school and reforms. A true leader is the one who serves the people and not the one who is served by the people. All of you must have seen waterfall, right? It always falls from a higher place to a lower place. Just like that, goodness should begin from the top. And once it flows down, there is goodness all over.
Now, we have the oath-taking ceremony for the head boy and the head girl. The headmaster will administer the oath of office to the head boy, Ran Vijay Singh, and the head girl, Anya Ray.
Do you promise to maintain discipline, lead in the right way, and uphold the honor and good name of our school?
I solemnly promise to maintain discipline, lead in the right way, and uphold the honor and good name of our school. I also promise to discharge my duties honestly and impartially.
By virtue of the power vested in me as the headmaster of the school, I appoint you the head boy and head girl for the session 2025-26.
The chief guest and the headmaster will confer the epaulets to the head boy and the head girl. The headmaster will administer the oath of office to the vice head boy, Ashmit Bharti, and the vice head girl, Jia John Thail.
Do you promise to maintain discipline, lead in the right way, and uphold the honor and good name of our school?
I solemnly promise to maintain discipline, lead in the right way, and uphold the honor and good name of our school. I also promise to discharge my duties honestly and impartially.
By virtue of the power vested in me as the headmaster of the school, I appoint you the vice head boy and vice head girl for the session 2025-26.
The deputy headmaster and the bursar will confer the epaulets to the vice head boy and the vice head girl. We now have the oath-taking ceremony for the prefects of the various houses. Our headmaster will administer the oath of office to the newly elected house prefects.
Do you promise to maintain discipline, lead in the right way, and uphold the honor and good name of our school?
I solemnly promise to maintain discipline, lead in the right way, and uphold the honor and good name of our school. I also promise to discharge my duties honestly and impartially.
By virtue of the power vested in me as the headmaster of the school, I appoint you the prefects for the session 2025-26.
The headmaster, mistress in charge of girls' school, and the housemaster and housemistress of the respective houses will confer the epaulets to the prefects of the various houses. Aravali House, Ansh Singh, Aryaman Dariwal, Yashika Kumari Murarka, and N. Rasika. Nilgiri House, Kushal Agarwal, Anshuman Patnaik, Sharvi Jagat, and Shivanetra Muthuvel. Sumeru House, Arjit Krishnan M, P. Srivarshan, C.P. Sadhana Shri, and A. Pramya Meenakshi. Vindhya House, M. Nitin Ishan, Pranav Khanna Arun Prakash, Bismi Akip, and Ananya Niranjan Bhargava. Let these young leaders step forward with an indomitable spirit, embodying the unique ethos of their respective houses, prepared to meet the challenges that lie ahead with courage and determination. May they forever remain proud Lawrencians, upholding the values and traditions that define our school. We now invite our chief guest, Honorable Dr. Justice A.K. Jayasankaran Nambiar, to address the gathering.
As a judge of a constitutional court in this country, I would have thought I had greater control over my emotions. But this evening has been truly magical. It has been so overwhelming. Right from the minute I stepped into the headmaster's bungalow, the pageantry, the welcome by the band, the walk into large hall, the being seated on the dais here, and then singing the school song. Surreal experience. Thank you, Headmaster, firstly for those kind words of introduction. Staff and students of this prestigious institution, dear young leaders who just took their oaths as prefects this evening, parents and friends, my wife and life partner, Indu, ladies and gentlemen. At the very outset, let me assure you all that the reason I'm here as chief guest today is not in recognition of any of my exploits as a student here. It's more for what I became in the later years of my life. As a student here, I was known more for my pranks than for my grades. In fact, when I was sworn in as a judge of the Kerala High Court in 2014, there were many congratulatory calls from well-wishers. And my standard response to all of them was that my elevation to the bench had actually begun from my school days. Yes, I thoroughly enjoyed my life in Lawrence School. I heard the headmaster say that. I don't know where he got that from, probably from Sangeeta here. But maybe I enjoyed it a bit too much, because when I left this school in the 10th standard, I barely had enough marks to get me an admission into a decent college. But not for a moment do I regret the time that I spent here, because this is where I met my wonderful batchmates. Boys and girls, we were together, we grew up together, sharing our joys, our sorrows, and helping one another in times of need. I realized then, and I still believe, that true and lasting bonds are built on trust, not on love or appreciation. If I ever have to celebrate a victory in my life, if I ever go through a depressing moment in my life, I know for sure that my batchmates will be there for me, come hell or high water. Would you believe that 5 of them are here today, attending this function? Thank you, Gunny, Sudha, Manish, Johnny, and Nikhil. Today, as we celebrate these young boys and girls for being chosen as leaders, I thought I must lay emphasis on the significant role that a camaraderie in boarding school plays in shaping one's leadership skills. What this institution taught me in those wonderful years that I spent with my colleagues here was to be respectful to one another, to understand that on any given topic of discussion, there was always another perspective which you needed to embrace, to be loyal to those who repose their faith in you. Because these qualities, a camaraderie that is forged out of these qualities, instills in a person a quality of humility, which then goes on to inform all your future actions. Education, you must understand, is not something that we necessarily learn in our classrooms. In fact, Mark Twain famously said, "I have never let my schooling come in the way of my education." And there's a great truth in that. Because if you look at it in one sense, education is nothing but a progressive elimination of ignorance. In today's world, where our reliance on technology and the latest devil, artificial intelligence, has served to distance us from our fellow beings. We talk about social media. It's not bringing us together, it's distancing us from each other. In times like these, boarding school education helps to maintain that core of human qualities that one needs to nurture in oneself. I'm talking of the emotions like sympathy, compassion, empathy. We're losing it. And I think it's important that you understand that when we grew up in a boarding school with the kind of people we had, with the kind of batchmates that you have, you're in each other's faces day in, day out. And if I'm thinking right, you still don't allow gadgets in the school, which is a big, big thing. Use it. I'll come to that in a bit. Far too many crimes, believe me when I say, and I know, far too many crimes have happened in our society in the recent past, which have been the result of this social disconnect that we perceive in society. And therefore, what we need today is a society where people will once again start to communicate with each other directly, person to person. I cannot stop emphasizing on this for the benefit of my young friends here. You do not realize the value of the education that you're getting in this institution. I interact a lot with students in Cochin and elsewhere who go to regular day schools. What I find disturbing of what I've seen in the last decade and more is that a student leaves his or her home, and the minute he or she does that, something gets plugged into the ear, and then they're alone. They get into a bus or a public transport. They don't converse with the person sitting next to them. They listen to their music. I'm not saying music is a bad thing. But they're completely unaware of their surroundings. They reach their schools, they take this off, they're in their classrooms. Imbibe whatever little you can from the lectures that you listen to. And after that, back goes the plugs. And then they go head back. What would you attribute the rate of suicides that you're seeing in this society today? What would you attribute it to? There's one answer that most psychologists and psychiatrists tell you is that it is loneliness. Would you believe it? We are talking about a world, we are talking about social media, we are talking about social connect. It is not serving its purpose. People are actually lonely. You're living in an artificial world where your validation comes from the number of likes or dislikes that you see. You do not appreciate because there is nothing to appreciate. When a person tells you from all his heart that he likes something that you've done, because he's not there for you to see whether he's actually genuine. Because behind that mask, behind that screen, you can hide your emotions. And so when you actually get in touch with the person in real life, and you suddenly find that he or she is not the person that you thought he or she was, it gets you into a spiral of depression. We often forget that the progress that we have made as a human species is because of our ability to think and ability to reason. What we do when we blindly adopt technology and disconnect is to mortgage our thinking and our reasoning to an algorithm. You're talking of artificial intelligence today. Everybody is welcoming it. There are many who fear it. Both are wrong. You don't need to fear artificial intelligence. The fear psychosis that is built in today's society is that artificial intelligence will replace human intelligence. Somehow algorithms and computers are going to take over. Humans are going to be relegated to their homes with nothing to do, dependence on machines. No, nothing of the sort. For those of you who are interested, please read this book by this famous startup company person. He's written a book on the development of human intelligence over the years. What he says is that human intelligence has developed over millions of years, right from the insignificant tadpole-like creature that you find in the wells, in the ponds, to the human brain as we know it today. If that is the number of years that it takes for a human brain to reach a stage where it is today, how on earth are we going to have an algorithm or a computer develop in a couple of years? Because ultimately an algorithm is all a human invention. You're never going to see that. So there's no point in worrying about artificial intelligence. It's not going to take over. It is never going to match human emotions such as love, compassion, empathy, sympathy. No. But what happens when you blindly adopt it? You find that when you mortgage your thinking to artificial intelligence, you're dispensing with that very quality that has ensured the progress of humanity, human civilization, all these years. The only reason we are a superior, dominant species on planet Earth is because of our ability to think. And we have this magical capacity to invent, to see, or to imagine a world in which we live. Take, for example, your concept of currency or money. You dehorse what you know and what you collectively know as money or the value of money. Imagine a person were to come from another planet and look at this money that you're talking about. He would only see a piece of paper. He would not know the worth of it. But how does it get its worth? Because of a common and shared understanding that you and I have with regard to the value of this. For those in the corporate sector, they talk about companies, corporates earning the money that we have. Has anybody ever seen a company? Nobody sees a company. You may have heard of Reliance. Have you seen Reliance? No. You may know the CEO of Reliance. He gives you a card which he says, I'm the CEO of Reliance. You may see a telecommunication tower which says Reliance. But that tower is not the company. The company is entirely in our heads. And the realization of a company is inferential. And we have this ability to picture ourselves in this world, imagine a world around us, and we live in that. The minute that creativity, that imagination disappears, you and I will cease to exist as human beings. And that's what we need to guard against. We have to understand that adoption of technology, reliance on artificial intelligence, is maintained at a sober level where you use it to augment your needs, but be careful not to be enslaved by it. And I think this is a very valuable lesson, because at the end of the day, an indiscriminate reliance on artificial intelligence should not be a manifestation of our natural stupidity. I'll say that again. An indiscriminate reliance on artificial intelligence should not be a manifestation of our natural stupidity. I say this again because I want my young friends here to cherish the time that you spend in this institution, because it gives you something which many others don't have. The environment where you can bond at a personal level with your colleagues, with your batchmates, and learn from your interactions with nature. Lawrence is blessed to be an institution in these surroundings. Beautiful Nilgiris landscape. All of us batchmates for class of 83, we were here. The time that we spent with nature, there are many things that we learned from there, which was not taught in our classrooms. And I think that connect is today available only in the boarding schools. Because the kind of interaction that you have here, you will never get outside. So, cherish the time that you spend in the portals of this institution. Learn from every aspect of your stay here. Believe in yourself and go forth in life, assuring yourself that your experience here will hold you in good stead in the years ahead. As for myself, I speak from my heart when I say that any success and fame that I have enjoyed as a judge of a constitutional court in our country traces its roots to the time that I spent here in Lovedale. Thank you, dear Headmaster, for extending to me this privilege of speaking at this function. To the rest of you, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all for your patience and wish you all the best. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable advice, encouraging words, and an inspiring speech. May this ceremony inspire and ignite the spark of leadership within each one of us. May we now request the headmaster to present a memento to the chief guest. Please rise for the national anthem. Audience is requested to remain standing while the newly elected prefectorial body, chief guest, and the parents leave the large hall. Guests, parents, staff, and Class 12 students will move to the front lawns for dinner. Thank you.